With everything I'm saying so far about Heihachi, they've done a tremendous job with him. It feels like a very balanced character, strengths and weaknesses. But of course, it's still very early. Could my opinion change? Yes, but I probably like him more than I do Tekken 7 Heihachi. What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and it's a great day in my opinion for Tekken. Heihachi is finally here in Tekken 8, and I know, what are you doing in Tekken 7, main man? I just want to tell the Heihachi story for the people who don't know what he used to be, and just how much he's changed for Tekken 8. He's like a completely new character, and in my opinion, they want Reina now to be the rushdown monster. And not so much Heihachi. He's also like the antithesis of Jin, in that Jin in Tekken 7 is one of the most complicated characters you could ever play in a fighting game, in my opinion. But in Tekken 8, he's quite brain dead. He's the opposite. And I feel like Heihachi also is the opposite, in that he's arguably easier to play in Tekken 7. And we're gonna look at it. You know, streamlined offense in Tekken 8? You can just do a couple of moves and they cover everything, like you would do with Jin or Dragunov. Heihachi was a bit like this actually in Tekken 7, in that if you just 50-50'd with down back 2 and Demon Uppercut, you kind of got away with it because Demon Uppercut was almost homing. So people actually, from green ranks to I think Fujit, people played actually like this. And you could, because of the tracking of Demon Uppercut. But then they would also play like this. Jab, 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 jab. And this was like a hit confirmable wall splat, right? That was -1 on block. And then they would do down forward 1. This is -1 with like gigantic reach. So he would legit look at his frames, like -1, -1, -1, -1, forward 4. Forward 3, this is a god button, like knocks down into guaranteed Demon Uppercut, -2 on block, sets up a launching punch parry, and it's a counter hit launcher. Like in terms of streamlined offense, this was it, like before the Tekken 8 S tiers. You would fart around with Heihachi, bloop, bloop, or this. This is how people played him. Oh, it hit, finish. But that's why I'm so happy to say that it, to me, at first glance now with Tekken 8 Heihachi, it seems like they got rid of all of this and said, Reina, you will now be the rushdown character, not Heihachi. Heihachi is going to have a balanced approach now and favor defense quite a bit more than he did before, with some of the best punishers in the game. He's just a more complicated character now. That's what it looks like right now, at least for me. How are you feeling after closing Tekken 7? Pretty good. Anytime I put up the game, I'm just like, was it this ugly? Alright, so now we can continue. We find ourselves in Tekken 8 with the new Heihachi. And now we'll see that all of these buttons I showed you in Tekken 7 that you could mash out endlessly, they are gone. And Heihachi actually now, with the same game plan, which is his pitbull style, he feels very clunky compared to old Heihachi. And very clunky compared to his daughter, Reina. So for example, I'll do down forward 1, which still has range, right? But it's -5 on block. So if you want to link down forward 1s now in a row, it's actually very slow, very clunky. His 1-1 is now -5, which is also slows you down greatly. And you are just that much worse now in terms of, you know, building that pitbull momentum. It also has to be noted that his down forward 1 has no tracking to either side. You can step at both sides with a sidestep, which is, you know, it's just problematic. The Demon Uppercut I showed you before has 0 tracking now. I shit you not, this went from almost a homing attack in Tekken 7 to now having no tracking. And Tekken 8 has big side steps, so if you get stepped, you are just dead. And also we would mix that with down back 2. I'm just gonna say straight up that Heihachi arguably or probably has the worst lows in Tekken 8. Maybe Lydia is worse though, but they are really bad. Down back 2 is just like in Tekken 7, with the additional problem that they are much further away on hit. Like, you get a +6, but you see how far away they're knocked away. Like in Tekken 7, they would be right next to you. And this unfortunately makes it so that when you do this classic into sweep here, you'll get this sweep, because they nerfed this sweep as well. Intentionally, I assume. You gotta be right next to them now to get the knockdown. This would always knock down in Tekken 7. So now when you do this flowchart we used to do, boom, boom, he will be too far away and this won't trip him. Down back 2 has also, you know, a nerf. In terms of lows, we got down back 3. Reina has a similar low. It's nice on startup at 16, but of course it's -2 on hit, -13 on block, and on counter hit it doesn't do anything. I'll just cover the other lows. You still have Hell Sweep single hit for +8. This is obviously still launch punishable on block. On counter hit, it still launches. You can do an electric hit, which is very nice. But we did nerf Hell Sweep in that if you go now for a follow-up like this, the first hit actually loses all of its tracking. And I get why they did this. It's because of ultimate Heihachi. When suddenly you can go for this and it's safe on block. You know, it doesn't stagger on block. So they felt like, oh, we gotta nerf a tracking on that shit. But you know, it's an additional nerf on a character that doesn't have good lows. And forward 3 is quite unrecognizable. It's now -5 on block. No longer knocks down. Instead, if you go into stance, you get 1-1 heat engager for 33 damage, and it's no longer a counter hit launcher. So that's also a big nerf. Back 4 used to be a homing mid counter hit launcher. It's still a similar attack in that it's still -8 on block, and it's still a mid counter hit launcher. It's just that it's no longer homing. This character is going to have gigantic problems with opponents sidewalking and sidestepping. His tracking is insanely bad so far. And his everything that typically tracked a lot in Tekken 7 doesn't track anymore. Instead, for homing, they want you to do, outside of stance, you will use upward 4, which can give you, you can dash into an omen, which is kind of sick, and does 43 damage. But you know, it's not the best homing. It's kind of slow at 24. It's actually very slow for a homing attack. And then you can check with a faster one, which is back 3, which is a high, and -9 on block. That is very, doesn't have a lot of reach, of course. One of Heihachi's biggest problems is going to be tracking. His old playstyle, which was the rushdown with all of the attacks I just showed you, forward 3, back 4, demon uppercut, 1-1, down for 1, all of that has been nerfed. He's nowhere near as pitbull as he used to be. And of course, he got a perfect electric. So just like, but with this new patch, this is everyone now. Except for Jin. So Heihachi, Reina, Kazuya, Devil Jin, they all have the Kazuya electric now. Which means instead of 14 frame, fastest possible electric with Heihachi, you now have a 13 frame electric. So in theory, if someone does a hop kick, Heihachi can now launch with electric. This is of course unbelievably difficult to do. And also leads to less misinput errors on the electric, because as soon as you have access to the perfect electric, it means you have 2 possible notations for electric. So you will see less misinputs. So that is very nice for a Heihachi. He has gigantic combo damage. Wait, wrong combo. Down for the 1. You can do stuff like this for 81. You can do, we can probably go up to 80 here. No, sorry, 85. '86. Again, these are very demanding combos. In Tekken 7 and in prior Tekken games with Heihachi, all that was ever required from you was, can you do 2 electrics in quick succession? Like this. Oh, sorry. Like this, and after this, it was sort of autopilot. like forward 2-3, back forward 2-3. The hardest part was always, can you link to electrics, and then the character's moveset will do the rest if you just press the right buttons. In this game, it's going to be trickier if you want to get the maximum damage. It seems like right now, you want to be able to do at least triple electrics involving dashes. He also has complicated stuff, like say you get a counter hit with back 4. You're gonna want to do a charged up Rashomon, which is back 2. To charge up like this to give it enhanced effects both on hit and block. And this also leads to it turning into a tornado tailspin, as you saw after the counter at back 4. And here you can... sorry, I'm still so new to this stuff. And here you can actually dash into an electric if you execute it properly. But yeah, his combos are much more difficult, and I'm going to have to work at this stuff for quite a bit here. It also has to be said that the Rashomon here and multiple other just frames, they can, well, they have like 3 frames of leniency to get this enhanced effect. You see with the blue spark. This one. But there's actually a golden just frame here, which is a true just frame. So this means a 1 in a 60 timing. So you hold back 2, and if you release on the exact correct frame, this trail will be yellow. So it will go gold and have 5 more additional damage. Another interesting execution thing he has is that his new wall combo, which is down for 3, 1 plus 2, 1. This one. This also has a just frame. You do down for 3, 1 plus 2, and then as he inputs the second punch, you input core circle forward 1 very quickly. There you go. So it does 5 more additional damage as a wall combo. They've actually put in a lot of cool stuff. Like execution-wise, it is for sure more demanding than what we used to do. And this is also what I'm trying to say. When it comes to the brain stuff, the strategy, it's also more difficult than what we used to do. Because you can no longer fart around with these god buttons. And with a homing demon uppercut. All of this stuff gets stepped now. And you also can't effortlessly link them together, because now you do a 1-1, you're -5. You do a down for 1, you're -5. And you really feel it when you play. If you're used to how fluid the old Heihachi was, with this guy it feels like you're stuck in mud when you're fighting. But then I realized, oh, they want Reina to be that character now. This is what I've realized. Reina is that character now. And then you say, okay, so is he just gonna be mid-tier? What is happening here? I think he will end up mid-tier. But the way they compensated, again, they removed that stuff. But they give you much stronger defensive capabilities. Which I think is much more interesting. In a game that has relied a lot on aggression, it's kind of nice to see that they're putting in stuff to really hurt the opponent if the opponent mashes and overextends. Heihachi really does that with like super beefed up punishers. Like his Chrome Dome, forward 1 plus 2, which is a 12 frame punish with a high hitbox, but pretty decent range. You now get this follow-up. 38 damage into a wall splat. Into wall splat here is extremely strong. If you are in heat, but again, this is tough execution. You can get the Rao Thrust here into full launch. Full launch. So again, if I'm in heat as Heihachi and someone is -12, like I can launch you. But again, I like this. I'd much rather see very strong defensive utility, but I see another character with mindless offense. So I really like this. He still has 12 frame demon breath. He still has a wall splatting 1-1-2. That's with the beefed up wall combo. So again, if we're -10, 1-1-2, wall splat. And it hurts quite a bit. And also in terms of offense, of course, you got stances. I love this stance. Thunder God stance. Probably the coolest stance in the game. And these are pretty limited in their utility and their options. What is consistently there is that both stances give you throws, which are unbreakable. So that is just like Daughter Reina. Both have this. And Thunder God stance also has access to that guard break we saw. So now I'm doing sidestep 2 into Thunder God stance and hit the 2 button, and it's a homing high guard break, right? This gives a flash punch. And now with quite heavy scaling, we get this for 39 damage, which scales quite a bit. But all of that is super nice to have. The problem is that these transitions are a little bit clunky and interruptible. Again, I'm threatening you here with pretty big high options, right? I'm actually threatening you with a guard break, and I'm threatening you with an unbreakable throw. There's many reasons here to duck, right? And the built-in problem here for a Heihachi, and of course this is how we balanced the stance here, is that the mid options that are there to catch you ducking are just not that awesome. But I think this is a good way of balancing it. This one is a wall splatting Thunder God Fist, but it's -11. So at the wall, the risk reward on this move is pretty good. In the neutral, however, not that good. So -11, you get punished. And then you can do this mid, which I believe is safe if I can get you to block this Grand Zone. Yeah, -7, it's safe. But it's quite slow. So this is, I've already have opponents here. What's it called? Fuzzy Guard, the guard break. What they do is you enter the mix-up and then they flash duck like this. But you can also delay the mix-up, of course. Stances so far don't seem that scary to me. But I like this low. Say you do 1 back 2, go into stance, and you can do a stomp, or forward 3 into stomp, which is pretty cool. But it's a little bit like Reina, where the opponent can interrupt you, they can option select. You might have to throw out... a power crush and armor, you know, to make them respect you. Yeah, there's nothing about the stance play that screams crazy strong right now for me. Now we can talk a little bit about his heat. When we are in heat, we immediately have access to these almost Akuma style, like slam the fucking ground. Like you have this one. This one enhances your homing attack. So that's unnatural. Does huge damage, is +2 on block, and of course wall splats for like a gigaton of damage. So as you can see, it's just absolutely monster damage, and that's something he actually has, very, very high damage. He also gets access to this one, and this one is also there to enhance your damage. Can I even do this, maybe? In the end there, you can choose to do Omen, but you can also end with this. YouTube curse. Yeah, these combos are so easy, dude. Absolutely undroppable. So yeah, in the end there, you can do Omen, or you can do down 3-2 to enhance your damage. And it's super cool looking as well. This ground pound that is available from the neutral is neutral on block. And I believe it's a special mid, meaning they can stand guard or crouch guard. But if it connects, it actually wall splats from pretty fucking far away. That's max damage. So it looks super sick. And then in heat, he gets a really cool transition. Like say you do 1 back 2 into Wind God Kame and you do throw. He immediately goes into Thunder God. When the headbutt throw connects, he'll automatically transition into Thunder God stance at +8 and apply a mix-up, which is really sick. And here you can do a naughty sequence. You do 1 back 2, throw, and then you mash throw again. And it's 2 unbreakable throws. Yeah, he gets built-in parry on Wind God Kamei. And more parry utility, which is nice. Back 1+2. Huge parry window, heat engager. When you're in heat, this will not launch if you dash out of it. You get a, you know, a slump and you get a follow-up hit. That's it. Up back 2 is also a Sabaki, as you can see. So you can see some added defensive utility, which is so nice to see. But unfortunately, he does not get his, you know, Raijin stance launching punch parry. That has been removed. It was insanely strong. But especially coupled with his bullshit frames in Tekken 7. You could abuse the shit out of that parry. He has some nice heat smashes, but his heat smash is very balanced. It's the way every heat smash should be in Tekken 8, in my opinion. And this is something they've done such a great job with Lydia and Eddie. This heat smash he does right here, his heat smash, it has not a single pixel of tracking. That's how every heat smash should be, by the way. Because we all know they're very rewarding on hit, and they are very rewarding on block. Any way you connect this, it's a huge reward for you. So thank God, Heihachi's, you can very easily sidestep it. It also does not have infinite reach. I'm looking at you, grandson, with your reach, your tracking. With everything I'm saying so far about Heihachi, like, they've done a tremendous job with him. Like, it feels like a very balanced character. Strengths and weaknesses. I mean, it's still very early, but I probably like him more than I do Tekken 7 Heihachi. This guy is actually less brain dead, like, believe it or not. And this. Do you also have an erection right now? This is Heat Smash 1, which is just 2+3. This is the guillotine execution. He's decapitated, he's dead. This will always floor break, because this is a hard floor break. So for example, on Descent into Subconscious, again, I'm looking at you, grandson, his stage, it doesn't matter if the floor has been hit once or not. You know, it takes 2 normal hits to break the floor. This will always floor break. The guillotine slaughter. Heat Smash 2, you press 2+3 and hold forward. This one will always wall break and wall stun. And also has, of course, the Jin effect in that it will wall splat from far away. Wow, he moves with the animation, like he moves so much forward just during the animation. We're at the wall. I thought we were gonna see him fly a little bit, but holy shit. It's literally from one end of the stage to the next. Oh, no, okay, I'm so mistaken. It's not like Jin's at all. He has to take you to the wall during the animation. It does not send them like a missile to the other side. Wow, okay. So he has to get there during the animation. But if he does, it's a lot of damage. It's like Half-Life. Hits like a truck. But do not confuse this with Jin's, which wall splats from 50 miles away, has a ton of tracking and a ton of reach. If you play Heihachi, you will quickly notice how subpar this one is in terms of tracking. So Ultimate Heihachi is obviously, anytime you pop heat, you get a token. So when you play Heihachi, every single fucking round, you are gonna do this. You might try to land a heat engager, but you always want to make sure you do not get KO'd or KO your opponent without having popped heat any way you can, because that gives you a token, right? And then after 3 rounds, if we play properly, we have 3 tokens no matter what. And when that happens, we can pop oh, sorry. We can pop that motherfucker. So 1+4, Bago! Who has the bigger balls? It's of course the old man, it's Heihachi. So now I have transformed, and you can see there are sparks everywhere. I'm powered up, but only for 1 round. As soon as the round is over, all of that gibberish in the UI is gone, and you'll never see this form again. So you activate it, and for 1 round you have this. Do note though that during the transformation, which is 17 frames, you can get counter it out of it. Like, I've started a round like this and eaten a down for 2 counter hit launcher. So yeah, make no mistake, it is punishable. When we have activated it, we are final boss Heihachi. Let's say grandson, who is really stupid oopid. Well, we all know Jin is a moron. He tries to CD1 the old man, right? He's like, yeah, here you go, motherfucker. This is minus 13. So here, suddenly, my 12 frame Chrome Dome in Ultimate Heihachi, yep, Ultimate Heihachi, down for 2-1, reverse Tutsu Metsuken, launches when you are ultimate. If I'm not ultimate, this will not launch, it will just throw them to the ground. So again, surprisingly straight. But of course, there is additional scaling here. As you can see, the launcher itself does 70%. So it's that Tekken 8 scaling, but to be honest, if there was no scaling on this sequence, like, holy shit. It would be pretty, I mean, it's already broken. But yeah, Ultimate Heihachi, if opponent is minus 12, they go up in the air. His flash punch also is enhanced during ultimate. It will now wall splat from further away. So normally we want to stand right next to the wall, right? But now if he can stand here, you see? Just throws them into the wall. $82 damage. And then Ultimate Heihachi also has the enhanced Demon Breath. That's guaranteed. But again, when you have this, right, same speed, you will use this if they recover crouching. Because again, Chrome Dome is a high. So if you recover crouching, you'll do this. Super strong. Forward 3 in Ultimate Heihachi is +1 on block. So this is a mid launcher that's now +1 on block. Super nice. Oh yeah, and Ultimate Heihachi, any damage you deal, do you see the blue effect on the health bar? That blue effect is there to tell you that no recoverable health. This is true damage. And as soon as Heihachi pops Ultimate Heihachi, if I've taken damage, I will immediately get for free recoverable health. So the transformation, yeah, it's very strong. And then of course, Demon Uppercut gets almost infinite range. Do you see this? When you press forward for 2, Heihachi fucking zooms in. Insane reach. And it's still -16 on block with pushback. So it's not made safe or anything, but, you know, extremely strong. Health sweep. As you can see, suddenly, health sweep, which always staggers, is no longer a stagger. And no longer -23, it's -14. You can, of course, make it completely safe by doing this. And this is an uninterruptible sequence. So this is absolutely insane. Can still be low parried, which is going to have to be the answer to that. And also, they tried to balance it a little bit in that only the single hell sweep in Tekken 8 is allowed a homing property. If Heihachi commits to this, which he will when he's Ultimate Heihachi, it suddenly has no tracking. So if Ultimate Heihachi does this and you're sidewalking, you'll kill him. Which is not a minor detail. And also when he's ultimate, Wind God Kame No, what am I doing? Yeah, Wind God made 2 here is made safe. That's a true mid, not a special mid. That's a mid launcher. -3 on block. This is -10 if you're normal Heihachi, so you're going to eat a jab punch. Oh, and also, of course, Ultimate Heihachi has access to the old Rage Drive effect from Tekken 7, which is this. Bagoosh. So any combo you can do this into Omen or whatever you want. And Ultimate Heihachi also has access to heat whenever he wants. So he has that resource as well. So yeah, Ultimate Heihachi is giga broken. It's basically, you do want to win that round. He's super strong. But is it always going to be a free round for you? No, it's not going to be. Because you will also be fighting against Yoshis, Xiaoyus, Claudios. And all they have to do is pop heat like this, and they are in a state which is not fucking far away from what you're doing. So you should win that round. Are you always gonna win that round? Nope, you are not going to. Back 4 can lead to, well, we talked about back 4, but it can really lead to huge amounts of damage. Maybe it does. It does. You can really get 100 without the wall. So he actually hits really hard. And again, if you do the powered up wall combo with this blue spark, you know, it really hurts a lot. Heihachi has a metric ton of damage. Again, with everything I've said, he is not Tekken 7 Heihachi. He is Tekken 8 Heihachi. He does not play Pitbull anymore. It's more of a balanced approach. Less rushdown in favor of stronger defensive utility, in my opinion. Hits like a truck. Anytime he gets a punish on you or an electric, it hurts really hard. The stance options, just like Reina's stuff, is probably gonna be very option selectable, but in the end, much less oppressive than Reina's stance mix-ups. And in my opinion, it's not even close. Reina is a significantly stronger character than her father. Again, I'm just a few hours in, but I would bet money that is the case. That's how sure I am. And incredibly poor lows. Yeah, you're going to try and get big counter hits on the opponent. You're going to try and land electrics. You're going to look for people overextending all the time to get really big punishes on them. -10, -12, -13. You have some of the best punishment in the game. And you'll go into heat, you're gonna do a lot of damage, you're gonna look to go into Ultimate Heihachi, of course. I just wanna say with everything, but I'm really happy what they've done to the character. They did such a terrible job on Jin, but with Heihachi, I feel like it's the opposite. He's a more interesting character in Tekken 7 than he was, in Tekken 8 than he was in Tekken 7. There's more strategy to it. He is less spammy, less spammable and abusable, and there's more execution. So for me, it's a case of what's not to like. But of course, it's still very early. Could my opinion change? Yes, but super happy with him. And from everything I've seen so far, there's no case for him being S tier. I'd be very surprised if that is the outcome of all of this, like the community's opinion. I think he's going to be mid-tier because his damage is so high. He just does not look like a top-tier character to me. But super happy to have him back, and he's super cool. He has the ultimate BM now, in that Shadow Step is heat only. And it will always eat up, no matter how much heat you have, it will always eat up all of your heat. Look, I have a full bar. And it's gone. Look at my full bar. No! And it's gone. It's like a troll. I don't need heat. And remember, when you do this, do Augur afterwards. This one. Coolest taunt in the game. But so, that's my breakdown of Heihachi. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see how I feel about the character in the coming weeks. But I really like this so far. Like, really, really like this. I'm kind of tired of the top tiers in Tekken 8 with streamlined offense, like Jin. So, it's nice to have a character that feels like very, very nuanced in comparison. So, good shit.